Hello everybody, Brent B here, and I make game boards. Today I'm going to give a little demonstration on using wood dye, which I've been experimenting with lately. And so let's see what happens. The first thing I'm going to do is get some yellow wood dye on the board. Like I said, I've been using wood dye for just a little bit now, doing some experimenting. And it is a lot of fun. So today I'm going to make a little sunset. So I'll get some nice, good amount of yellow on the board there. That looks good. I'm just going to use the same rag and get some orange on the board now. Like I said, I'm not an artist, but I don't want to let fear hold me back. So while I don't have the time right now to take lessons, I can watch a little Bob Ross for inspiration and do some experimenting. And I think oftentimes in life, we let fear hold us back from doing something. I don't want to do that. We don't have to start off an expert. That comes with time and practice and experimentation. All right, so I've mixed up a few different colors of wood dye. Here I use Kita wood dye. And that's going to allow me to blend this. I mix it with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and that really does help for blending it. Let's put a little blue up top, and I'm going to use that same dirty rag. And if I zoom in the camera and you look a little closer, you'll see I have some marks around the board there. That's because later I'm going to drill some holes there, because this is going to be an old-time favorite game of mine. An old marble game called Aggravation. A lot of fun. So having those holes there will give me a reference point for the artwork I'm doing. All right. Blend that. I think I'm going to bring some of this color in. Let's get some of the excess off there. Bring some of that blue in. Maybe it'll look like clouds. All right. And I find with wood, it's natural, it has what we may think are imperfections, but it's just part of the tree, like this knot here. And I find instead of worrying about things like that, wanting your wood to be perfect when you're working with it, just go with it. You know, since I'm doing a sunset, maybe that'll end up being a sun. So let's see. Okay, I am going to bring a little more blue down, blend that in. Now let's darken up the corners a little bit with some lavender. One thing I do find about the wood dye is it is a lot of fun to work with, but it can be really tricky because it's not necessarily forgiving. So you gotta be really careful. If you stop mid-motion, like you see I did here a little bit, I'll have to work on blending that out. It'll leave you nice splotch marks. So if you have any suggestions for me, please, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Like I said, I am a beginner when it comes to art. It's a lot of fun. Okay, that's not too bad, but I think I'm going to come in with just a little more blue to darken up the sky here. The wood dye is nice. It does darken up as it dries, and especially when you put your top coat on, which I'll be using a water-based polyurethane for this, and once you do that, it darkens up really good. But I want the top of the sky there to give the indication that night is falling, since it's a sunset, so I want it to be a little darker. Okay. Okay, next I'm going to take some green wood dye and just lay in a nice base color for the ground. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. Boy, that works really good with the cedar. All right. And if you decide to use wood dye yourself, one thing I will say, wear gloves. I'm wearing some nitrile gloves here, and I find even with just one pair, oftentimes some of the dye will still go through, so may even wear a second pair. And the beautiful thing about the wood dye is you can apply coat after coat after coat. It's not like stain. With stain, the wood will take what it wants and give you back the rest, but the wood dye will keep taking. So let some things happen there. Oh yeah. Okay, here's my bravery test. I mixed up a little bit of acrylic paint, and I'm going to try and cover over these marks. That was a couple holes I had to putty up. So, to be quite honest, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen on this step. But I'm going to try and give the indication of some distant mountains. It's not exactly the Bob Ross wet on wet painting method, but hey, you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Pick up some of that paint and blend it down. Let's see. Let's have that one reach quite a bit up there. Okay. All right, go grab that excess paint. Bring that down. And how about we have it come across there? Actually, it works pretty good blending that down with just a little bit of water. Well, this is for a very good friend of mine, my brother, Gary. And it's made with love for him. So even if it's not perfect, I know he's going to be happy. You know, when you're doing things for people they care about and you're making them something, that is what's important. A motive. They will just appreciate that you took the time to think about them and make something for them that they would enjoy. There we are. Okay. Okay, let's try and put in a few trees now. I think we'll go These are just distant trees, so don't need a whole lot of detail. All right. Let's put in some on the other side now. Okay, now I just want to put in some distant bushes. Different things happening back there. Mix it up with a different color here, a little brown. It's a little darker over here. Okay, like I said at the outset, I'm not an artist and I can't paint pine trees yet. So I broke out my Cricut and we're going to do it that way. Maybe just a touch of highlights. Let's finish up by putting in a couple trees. I think we'll do one right about here. Let's put in another one. About right here. Okay. He's kind of a spindly looking tree. Let's give him a little more. All right. And how about one more? Maybe a little guy back there. Then I'll come back and give those some highlights. Maybe some grass. Okay, let's put some highlights on these trees. Okay. Well, I think that about concludes my experiment for today. I hope you enjoy the program. It's a lot of fun working with the wood dye. I am just starting off with acrylic paint, so again, suggestions welcome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. I almost forgot, stick around for the reveal. I'm going to drill some holes here, put a top coat on it, put my marbles in, and we'll see what the game board looks like.